Howdy folks, Effing Controller here, back with more Uncharted Waters New Horizons, playing as Ali. We're continuing on the Effing Controller Trading Challenge, or something. I don't know the name for all of this whole approach to playing Ali, but we're gonna have plenty of time to think about another name as we sail on to our next destination from Alexandria here. We've got a load of cotton cloth we need to take pretty far away in order to sell for a profit. So let's get some food and water. We will have to resupply before arriving at our final destination. That's perfectly fine. That's allowed. In fact, encouraged. Usually a good idea to not starve. There's a whole game that's the title and premise. Not this game. Although, really, I mean, that is kind of the premise of this too. So anyways, we're sailing from Alexandria, going through the fairly slow sailing of the Mediterranean. And I'm going to be taking my cotton cloth to a South American port. That is really the only area where you can get a reliably good price for it. At least that's sort of nearby. You can get some... I think I should be looking at the spreadsheet that I've got, the notes. I should have that stuff up, but it's kind of difficult to trade it for a profit nearby. So we're not going nearby. Now to get to South America, especially at this early stage in the game, it can be a little bit dangerous because of storms. You might have heard of these things that happen in the waters. These uncharted waters are prone to storms. And there's particular areas where storms are more likely. But first I'm going to stop here in Madeira. And we'll talk a little bit about storms here in a moment. There's basically fixed areas in the game where storms are going to happen. I won't say that they're likely to happen. I have terrible luck with storms. And there's ways that you can avert them. One of which is to buy a good called balm, or an item called balm. And using balm will dissipate the storm through the power of aromatherapy or something. But another way you can do it is if you have a figurehead on your ship, that will reduce the likelihood. We just sailed over the edge of the world, no big deal. That'll reduce the likelihood of storms forming. Or you can do what I do, which is just avoid the areas where storms are going to happen. Let's actually look at the map. Well, I mean, that's not much to look at, but over here, you can see that we were just off the northwest coast of Africa when we left Madeira, which is that southwesternmost dot on the map. But as you sail further south along the west coast of Africa and into the Gulf of Guinea and things like that, storms become very, very likely, and you don't want to mess with that in a small ship like this. Along the west coast of Africa, not into the Gulf of Guinea. Particularly if we're heading towards South America, that can be a little bit of a problem. And if we're sailing across the ocean in this little ship, getting into a storm is a big problem. So what you do is you just go over the edge of the map here, and still in the central Atlantic here, but you're not in an area where storms are going to spawn. So it's kind of cheesy, I guess. This is theoretically, or in the real world, just as much a area where those, what are they called, those Cape Verde hurricanes can form. And indeed, it's July, August now, and we're entering hurricane season. We could very well encounter storms, but thanks to video game logic, we can avoid them. So this is what I like to do when I have to sail to South America in a dinky ship like this. There's another way you can go. You could go, well, and it's not really that good. Depends on the port that you're trying to get to, but the common way to get to South America, which we've just reached, is to just sail west from Europe, and then as you hit North America, just start sailing down, or south. This is the Amazon. It's a prime example of a river. And this is the port of Cayenne. I think, you know what, I'm not going to resupply. I'm going to live dangerously. because we're pretty close to some other ports and ultimately our destination, which is going to be, yeah, we'll actually be able to make it there without resupplying. This is the port of Margarita. A great port, a great drink, and a great pizza. But this is Caracas. This is actually where we're heading. And it's fine. It's fine too. I just can't make any funny jokes about its name. I'm sorry. And it's 12:30. That was terrible timing on my part to arrive at 12:30. Oh well. Accidentally hit the L button there. Got a peek at some of our particulars. Hopefully it doesn't get a strike or anything like that. Oh, there we go again. I was actually going to show you guys. Caracas is a useful port in this because it has an economy rating of 220. It has access to some of the New World goods that most other New World ports, they don't have it. So you'll also see off to the left that we have 225 adventurer fame. That is actually kind of a funny quirk with this route, that Ali ends up getting much more adventurer fame than trade fame, at least at the beginning. And we can use that to our advantage a little bit. We'll talk about that should the opportunity arise. But for now, we're selling our cotton cloth, which I think I bought for like 27. But we will easily make a profit. 79, get out of town. Come on. And from Caracas, we're not going to be buying vanilla, at least not yet. We're going to be buying pimento because those olives are not going to stuff themselves. We need to buy some pimento and take them to a port in Europe. So this is a ridiculous way to trade, I would say, normally, but this actually will give us a pretty decent profit. I think that for pimento, I think they meant like Chile, or Chile. I was thinking of the country Chile, and then I said Chile, and then I said my name, I guess. Shirley. That's my name. Shirley. It's a typo on the birth certificate. What can I say? We're gonna head out of here. Yeah, we're gonna head right on back to Europe, and we're gonna enlist the same. I don't know if you'd call it a strategy. It's a life hack, maybe. Yeah. I wonder if I sail due east of Trinidad and Tobago here, if that'll serve a good purpose. Because you don't want to sail directly northeast from there. You'll catch storms in the Caribbean. Like I said, there's zones where storms are more likely to happen, and just in the Caribbean generally. Not necessarily along the coast of South America, but through most of it, you're going to run into the likelihood of storms. And I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm confident of that. Yeah, we should be fine here. I always have to do this with some level of imprecision. I can never quite remember where I need to make my turns. It'd be nice if I actually invested in something like a sextant or a theodolite. What's the other one? There's 3 items in this game that will let you get your latitude and longitude. Can't remember the third one. It's like a speculum, which I thought that was for something else, but apparently in this game you can use it for other things too. It slices, it dices, it conducts gynecological exams, and gives you your latitude and longitude. It's a GPS, and you know what? I'm not going to talk about this anymore. We're going to stop in Ceuta instead of Madeira. Unfortunate. Not really unfortunate. I mean, it would be unfortunate if, you know, it just happened accidentally that I mentioned that. I have no one to blame but myself. That's not a misfortune. Who's that? That's our buddy, Khairuddin. I like how he has this kind of... To me, he looks like he has this... He has a look of foreboding on his face. Not foreboding. foreboding. And I don't know why, because he has arguably the most powerful fleet at the start of the game, one of the most powerful fleets, and he's one of the best, he might be the best Commodore. I haven't really looked into that, but he doesn't have to feel that way. He's got plenty to be proud of. He's good enough, he's smart enough, and doggone it, people hate him. People hate him so much. I hate him. Stopping in Tunis because I'm about to starve to death. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? There we go. So if you leave exactly at midnight, I think it will take away 2 days worth of food. Because you take a day's worth of food away when you leave a port, but then I think it docks your food at 12:30. As opposed to exactly at midnight. I might be wrong about that, but let's take a look at our... I mean, we only used the one food to leave, so I don't know. We're heading to Venice, meanwhile. Taking our pimentos there. Putting them in olives for the Aperol spritzes. Isn't that what they put in the Aperol spritzes? Am I making that up? Sometimes the game kind of lags like this. It's really having to contemplate some deeper question. I just wanted to discover the port of Ragusa there. I don't think it's actually on my route, so I didn't need to do that. But and there we go. It might be a little early. Oh, we're fine. Venice is not the capital of the Italian pseudo nation at this point. Oh shit. Well, done goofed. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually leave the port. It would make more sense that Venice would be the capital, but things seem to kind of not make sense sometimes in this fine game. So now it's dark. I should be able to go into Venice without the guards hassling me. And then what I'm gonna do is head over to the lodge. I'm gonna wake up at 4. What an idiot. I guess I could have woken up at 2. There's item shop goodies that I could have checked out. I don't know if Venice has anything particularly compelling, but meh. Alright. After sailing 0 days. And 21. Okay. We will definitely make more than that. Well, obviously, but we'll make quite a lot of money off of our pimento. I think it's at least double. Yeah. Outstanding. Excuse me. Glassware is the local specialty, and we're gonna be buying a bunch of that. 202. Delightful. And I'm not taking that very far, so I'm gonna load up my ship with glassware. None of it will break. I'm a really, really good captain. Don't know if you've seen my sailing. I mean, I'm pretty good. I don't know why I went to resupply. It's just ridiculous. Pretty capable captain over here. I've listened to the song Don't Rock the Boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Don't tip the boat over. I mean, those are the 3 rules of sailing. Don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Don't tip the boat over. It's easy. We're going to Genoa, which is the actual capital of Italy in this game. I don't know. I just work here. I don't get too nervous at this... Oh, God. At this early stage of the game with all of the fleets sailing into me because Ali doesn't have very much fame, and that's really what determines whether or not you're going to get attacked. Oh, God, I did that wrong. You know what? I might be okay if it's before 4. Yeah, we're fine. We'll just have to sleep another day. That's alright. Ali is living that graveyard shift lifestyle. Sleep doesn't make sense. It's fine. Oh, I could have gone to the item shop, actually. But that's okay. I don't know if Genoa has anything particularly compelling. Could have gone to the cafe. Lots of options. Lots of better ideas than what I did, but you know how it goes with me. So something like 210. Again, I don't have my phone with me, so I'm not jotting things down. 202. Hachi Machi. I'm gonna get a lot of money for that. Well, sort of. We'll make a decent profit, I guess. And from the fine port of Genoa, I'm going to be buying silver. Silver is a vital trade good if you intend on making any amount of money in this game. But we'll explore that later on. How much do I want to buy? I might have to resupply to get to my next port. It's no big deal. Okie dokie. I mean, I'll have to resupply here, but might stop in Ceuta or something like that. We'll see. We'll see how much, how long it takes me to get there. Once I get out of the Mediterranean, things will be quite a bit faster. But anyways, back to silver. We looked briefly at the market rate menu when we were at one of the trade offices earlier, and one of the ways that the game can be manipulated in terms of price is if you trade items within a certain trade group. Silver is, I think, oh god, I can't remember. I think it calls it jewelry or something like that. I think it kind of means bullion, though, is what it's really trying to get at. You can depress the price of jewelry items by selling silver, which allows you to then buy gold, the most expensive good in the game, at a discount. And gold sells well in most areas, especially in Europe, but you know, maybe that's something I'll show you rather than tell you about. We're here in Dublin now. Dublin is not a terribly interesting port in this game, but it has a trade good that I do need to get out of the way, so I'm going to use Dublin for that. That's one thing, is if I'm trading a good that's relatively common, that most ports sell, it benefits me to trade at a port that is just kind of otherwise uninteresting, doesn't have any specialty goods or anything like that. But a port where I can still get a good price on my silver. Bada bing, bada boom. And from Dublin, I'm going to be buying fish. Because that's what you do. I have eaten fish in Dublin, now that I think about it. I went to Leo Burdick's, the famous chip shop. It was alright. I think I had better fish and chips in Ireland, though. Hopefully that doesn't irritate anybody for me to say that, but it was actually, it was very nice. It was very good. It's not like it was bad. It was actually the first day that we were there when we were kind of jet lagged and we were kind of making ourselves walk. And we got some fish and chips. Sat there by, what's that? Is that Christchurch Cathedral? Anyways. The cathedral. One of the cathedrals in Dublin. Anyways, I'm making an ass of myself. What I'm also doing is I'm stopping in Bristol. Because I need to invest here, and this is part of that rule that I mentioned. I cannot invest unless it's absolutely necessary, and in this case it is. Bristol is one of a few ports that will sell tin ore, and in order to access that, I need to raise that economy rating up there at the top. It needs to be over 400. So I am going to invest here. And I don't remember exactly how much I need to invest in order to make money. Or not make money. Get access to that. I'm going to invest 9,000. I think a full ingot is too much. You know what? I'm going to do the full ingot just to be absolutely sure. It would be a shame to show up here later and not have the trade level that I need to buy tin ore. And what will happen is, it's September 15th. On October 1st, the game will refresh the list of available trade goods, and then I can see if I can buy tin ore here at any point after that. So, Bristol is not my next port. I'm just here to invest. And it would be foolhardy to sell fish in Bristol, as the saying goes. If you sell fish in Bristol, I mean, pistol rhymes. You guys figure the rest out. I don't know. I just play the games, man. I'm just here playing the game. I say dumb stuff. I don't say smart stuff. If you need something smart, come up with it for yourself. It's really that easy. Where the hell am I going? Oh yeah, I'm going to Salonika. Again, for the same purpose. I have annoying trade goods that I need to get out of the way. Fish is one of them. Fish is nigh on impossible to trade profitably. I don't know, man. It's a toughie. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, why did they even put it in the game? Because you'll make... Oh, fuck. We're going to stop here in Syracuse because I was prattling on about fish in Bristol. But it's a difficult trade good to... Oh, get out of here, God. To trade for a profit. Trying to remember where... You know what? I'm going to bring up my list. It's going to cause a little hiccup in the game here. Fish trades profitably in nowhere other than where I'm going. It's the dumbest. It's the worst. Don't trade fish. Despite that, the AI will pretty routinely carry it as a trade good when if you attack a fleet. Attack a merchant fleet, it'll oftentimes have fish or grain or cheese, all three of which are garbage. They're terrible. But you guys know the rules. I have to trade all three of those at some point. There we are, Salonika. It's a neutral port. That helps, actually, because my next good here is one of those ones that is not super profitable. We're going to sell our fish. And get a little bit of a profit. It's barely worth it. Okay, and then we're going to be buying cheese. And again, I'm buying from Salonika because, as you can see, it only trades the two goods. It has no specialty goods that you can get through investment, I believe, so it's just not really worth it. Let me see if I can get 30. Nope. But fortunately, I know where I can get a profit off of this, so... But it's going to be, again, another long trip. So I'm going to buy 70 of that, and since it is going to be a long trip, I'm going to split the episode here after I get out of this menu, and I'll see you in the next one where I take my cheese to parts unknown.